Hey, what's up, woke folks? I wanted to show you real quick what I'm dealing with today. And I'm also trying to remember to do a video with the camera facing the right way. But, like I said, I don't have a thing to hold it on the windshield yet, so, I'm hoping that you can see this. Can you see this? Hey there. Like you need to see a giant version of my face. I always love that when you like turn your phone like that and you look like Shrek. So anyway, what I was trying to say was that all night we had some ice and now we have some light snow, and it's supposed to turn to rain, which I hope it does soon because that'll get rid of all this junk. But the roads are, as they say in Vermont, slicker and shit. And so I wanted to talk about sugar snow. Now this isn't exactly what I think of as a sugar snow. A sugar snow is sort of this, what you would think of as like this soft snow, big fluffy flakes, giant flakes, and it always comes around March. It's very late in the year. It very often melts within a day or two, and it comes around sugaring time, and sugaring time means when they're tapping the trees to make maple syrup or sugar, and I just find the whole history of maple syrup fascinating. I was raised by a Vermonter mother. So, you know, maple was a very big part of our lives, even though we didn't fully grow up. We grew up in New York, but of course we came to Vermont all the time because our family's here. But, so, you know, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to maple and maple sugar and sweetener and whatever. But the thing I wanted to talk about was the sugar snow. And also when you know, or at least I was taught, when you know it's time to make syrup, which by the way I've only done once in my life, but is when you know it's time, when the snow starts pulling away from the trees, from the base of the trees, and that means that the sap is moving. It's moving and it's melting that snow. And I don't know if you can see that here, but you can sort of see that happening around some of these trees. And that just means that it's warming up and it's spring and it's sugaring time. And then, so there's a sugar snow, which like I said, is just sort of this big, late in the year, light fluffy snow, usually doesn't last. And then there's sugar on snow, which is a whole different thing. So sugar on snow, I was raised having, and sugar on snow means, it's so you boil the sap to a very specific temperature, and I'll be darned if I can remember it right now. I don't know why I'm wanting to say 180 degrees, but I think it's warmer. You use a candy thermometer to find the temperature, and then you have to stop right at that temperature, and that's, I think, called a hard boil or soft boil. I can't remember, with a candy thermometer. And then you take that sap and you pour it onto snow, so it sort of instantly hardens into this like taffy-like substance, and it's so delicious, but it's also overpoweringly sweet. And so with sugar on snow, the real traditional way to have it is you have it also with pickles, dill pickles, usually spears, and raised donuts, and a cup of coffee, which a lot of people choose to have the coffee black because the maple syrup is so damn sweet. And so that's sugar on snow. It's a Vermont tradition. So freaking delicious. Oh my gosh, it's so good. If you ever get a chance to come to Vermont in the spring, this time of year, hit up like a local sugar house and try to go somewhere that has sugar on snow. I know Morse Farms in East Montpelier does, and usually the lines are long, but oh, it's so great. And it's so great, like, if you ever get the chance in your life to make maple syrup, or any other syrup, but because you can do like birch syrup and stuff too, and they're all very healthy compared to regular sugar. They have things like B vitamins and minerals and etc. It's much healthier. I mean, not that any sugar is super healthy, you shouldn't be doing massive amounts of it, but if you're going to choose a sugar, I would always choose like maple syrup or honey over regular white cane sugar if you can. and try to get used to that. But anyway, so that's welcome to Vermont. That's what a sugar snow is, and sugar on snow. And I just wanted you guys to know, because it's such a regional thing. Like, even where I grew up in upstate New York, nobody had ever heard of sugar on snow or a sugar snow. But it's a really cool part of Vermont, one of my favorite parts. The other cool thing about Vermont, I believe, is you can't market something and call it maple syrup unless it's real maple syrup. You know, say for example, your local fast food place serving pancakes, they can't give you a thing of corn syrup that's flavored like maple and say, oh, here's your maple syrup. They have to say that it's like something else, like breakfast syrup or something, because it's not maple, it's not real maple. And a lot of the little local, the good restaurants, they will serve real little cups of maple syrup for you when you get your like pancakes or French toast or whatever you want your maple syrup with. So it's a super cool thing about Vermont. I know lately I've been complaining a lot about Vermont. I'm over the cold, I'm over the winter. That's very common this time of year. I think not just for me, but for most people, especially when, what is it today, March 22nd or something, and it's still snowing. You know, and snowing and icy. Luckily it wasn't enough that I had to shovel or anything. That's what I hate, is shoveling. But yeah, so there's some cool regional things around here. And then another thing I want to tell you super quick is in Vermont, when you get a soft serve ice cream, it's called a creamy, C-R-E-E-M-E-E, and you know, you go to get one, you call it a creamy, and a baby size is like the size of a small anywhere else on earth. And you know, and that's from there on they turn giant. And a lot of places have maple creamies, maple flavored creamies, which is, I've got to admit, I don't think I've ever had one. I'm not, believe it or not, a huge fan of maple flavored stuff. I like maple syrup, and I like you know, I like it on my pancakes and stuff like that, but I am not a I'm not a fan of like maple candy and maple ice cream and blah blah blah. So 99% of the time I just want like regular plain old syrup or sugar on snow or nothing. So anyway, that's it. That's a little bit about Vermont, and I'm headed to work again. It's early morning. Excuse the bags under my eyes. I am extremely exhausted. Been doing spring cleaning. It's like a weird thing. I feel like I always have to do this time of year. Sorry about my hand in front of the camera. And I'll talk to you soon. Stay woke, folks.